This is Sunshine here doing the KMUD live stream of the 12th annual Emerald Cup here in Santa Rosa at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Oh my gosh. I have with me Yami Bolano from the Greater Los Angeles Collective Alliance. Thank you for coming here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
And so you're part of a trade organization.
The oldest trade organization in the world that represents cannabis, yes. We're coming into our 10th year of having existed. We were instrumental in passing D, which is a limited immunity ordinance that was passed in Los Angeles. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but we were part of the pack that passed it, and at least it kept the pre-ICO alive and kicking. We're now writing a new ordinance. We've written a new ordinance, GLACA, and we're sharing it with the lawyers in Los Angeles that are representing most of the pre-ICOs. And everybody's sitting at the table, coming, in agreement with everything so that we as a community can push this Measure D2 through so we can stay alive. Because as it is right now, the limited immunity does not allow us to stay alive after 2018. So
Right. Oh, so you're trying to
change the ordinance so that we can be permitted, so that then we could step up to state.
And you're trying to have this done before the March 1st deadline?
Well, March 1st deadline does not exist. Assembly Banta is about to put out a legislative memo to everybody that it doesn't exist. It's already been written that it's going to be removed, and it's just this League of Cities' evil way to manipulate a situation and try to get the cities to pass these bans, because it doesn't exist. They're removing that date from there, and we're going to get, like I said, a legislative memo from Banta very soon, probably this week.
Okay, so this is important for me because in Humboldt we are also working on an ordinance, and there's been a lot of pressure with this March 1st deadline to have this ordinance done.
Yeah, in Southern California, in just the last 2 weeks, there's 5 communities that passed this ban because, if we don't do this by March 1st, they're going to overrun us and we're going to lose control. And that's the evilness of the League of Cities spreading their spin on it to try to put pressure.
They're forgetting, for one thing, they're a bit disconnected from what's happening at the state, and they're not realizing the opportunity that the state is giving them in, say, in collecting tax revenue and what they're missing out on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what I say about those politicians, that they're ignorant? Because, we're here to stay and we're not going away. We're here. Might as well work with us. Those of us that have been, I've been in LA for years, lobbying, to please, for 8 years we lobbied, and then we got Measure D, which doesn't work that well, but at least we got something. But, we used to say, tell us what hoops we have to jump through. Light them on fire, damn it, we'll do it, And, and everywhere else, politicians, they're just, sissies.
Well, I think they might, I think they might also change their minds in the future.
Now,
once they
well, that's
see
what
this,
I'm saying. The ignorant ones, the ones that don't see past their nose, are the ones that say no. But the smart ones and the ones that, have, can see the future, know that the best thing, the most intelligent thing is to embrace us and work with us and help everybody in Southern California, all the little towns in Southern California. They're all broke. They're all broke. And so why not embrace a situation that would help their cities, not be broke?
For sure.
So, and we're working on that. I started an Indoor Growers Association that's called Cultivators Alliance in Los Angeles 6 months ago, because we were up here and there was no representation for indoor growers. Someone said to me, there was 2,000 square feet for the indoor growers and an acre for the outdoor growers. And I'm, very ignorant because I'm not a grower. And I'm like, so what's an acre? 43,000 square feet. I'm like, oh my God, we need representation. We need somebody speaking for the indoor growers because nobody is, and so that came, and we've become very strong. It's very interesting. In my organization, the Greater Los Angeles Collectives Alliance umbrellas legal entities in the city of Los Angeles. Those are the only ones that can join GLACA. So I have the potential of having 135 legal entities join my organization. But the Growers Association, dude, there's thousands of those guys. Do you know how much money and the voice that that's going to raise? I mean, I'm excited because it's finally going to work for us. You know, the collecting the money and doing the things that everybody else does in order to be able to push their agendas ahead. With an organization like that that's 1,000 strong, you know, they donate what, 3,000, 4,000. It's a lot of money, you know, and that's what talks in politics is money.
Yeah.
No matter what you think or what you don't think, they all want money. That's all they want is money. So, you know, you have to play their game. You have to infiltrate. You know.
Well, maybe too, like just having something like the indoor version of the Emerald Cup in Southern California, where here you are seeing this is cultivation centric here. I mean, that's what I love about the Emerald Cup is the focus on cultivation is just so strong, and I'm really thankful for that.
I am very honored to have been asked to come and speak at this. I had never been here for this cup, but I feel very strongly for the growers, you know, and I'm very, you know, I say often that, you know, through this whole thing, the growers are the ones that don't have any protections. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't exist. I wouldn't have a dispensary if I didn't have somebody, you know, providing medicine for my, and so who's providing the medicine? The growers are. And so to me, it doesn't make sense that they're the ones that don't have any protections. They're the ones that ass was hanging in the air while everybody else had protections, but the growers didn't. So it's time that growers organize and have a voice and take their place rightfully where they're supposed to take it, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have an industry.
Yeah, so, for sure. What are your thoughts about just coming from Southern California and being here? You're kind of not quite in the Emerald Triangle, but you're pretty close.
I love it. I think it's great. You know, all day long I've been walking around, and in LA, in Southern California, you know, they have these cups, right? Oh my God. It's nothing like this. I mean, you can't think it's so loud, and every booth has different music going on, and then there's millions of people dabbing all over the place. It's like you're just like, you feel so weird. To me, it's like there's nothing medical about what's going on here, and this is so chill. Everybody's so nice, and everybody's like so gentle about everything, you know. I am very happy to be here. I've enjoyed it very much, and I'm going to keep coming back. Next year I'm going to have a booth.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And then you also, in speaking of medical, you worked on AB 258?
Yes.
Which was the organ transplant
and
cannabis use?
Discrimination bill, yes. I'm very proud of that work. You know, Don Duncan wrote that bill. And when Norman Smith, who was a gentleman that was at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, was taken off the transplant list because he was using marijuana, because I've had a liver transplant, it scared me. And I was told at UCLA that if I continued to use marijuana, that, you know, if I rejected the liver that I had, that they wouldn't retransplant me, right? So, and I got mad. I was like, you know, that pissed me off. But then Mr. Smith got taken off the list, and I watched in horror, because I used to tell Don, you know what, they're going to let me die? They're not going to let me die. And they let him die. It was like so, it was traumatic for me, you know, because it affected me directly. So, you know, I begged Don, you got to fix this. And he wrote the bill. And because the California Medical Association passed a resolution after we had been selling it for a couple of years, Mark Levine finally took up our cause. But we got through the legislature, both houses, and on July 6th, the governor signed the bill. And on January 1st, it becomes law. And last night, I had a wonderful thing happen to me. I got all choked up about it and couldn't even talk or anything after I found out. But I have a patient. Her name is Tamara Howard. She's my patient at Pure Life Alternative in LA. And she's been on dialysis for about 10 years. And she has all kinds of other complications, and she couldn't get on the transplant list because of her use of medical cannabis. And last night she called me and she said that on Monday they're going to add her name to the registry because the doctor said that they were close enough to January 1st. And so for me, that went full circle because Norman Smith died at Cedars-Sinai. And for me, it's gone full circle. I'm sorry, it's just it's very emotional for me because that bill did what it was supposed to. It's gonna save lives. And it started, for me with my patients. So
Wow.
it's been a blessing.
Wow.
And I have to thank Don because he, single-handedly, this bill, AB 258, didn't make anybody any money. It didn't cost anybody any money. So nobody was really interested, So he kind of pushed this by himself. And it was for patient rights. And it was to save lives. And anybody says about Asa or him that I don't believe anything negative because I love him. And to me, I would follow him anywhere. But he did something for patients that nobody else has done. He saved lives, and single-handedly because nobody helped him. I talked a lot, and I represented it, and I was the spokesperson, but he did that by himself, and he's to be applauded for that. He saved Tama Howard's life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. All right, so you're going to be working with cultivators
Yes.
in the Los Angeles
Yes,
area,
I am already,
organizing
yes.
the indoor growers.
Yes, it's called the Cultivators Alliance. God, I can't even say it, but Cultivators Alliance, yes.
All right, well, it's been wonderful meeting you.
It's been wonderful meeting you, too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you here next year.
Yes.
And you'll be representing Glauca?
Glauca and indoor growers and maybe a couple other things.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We are at the Emerald Cup. Boy, it's been a full day here today. Still more to go, though. You're tuned into KMUD, KMUD. You can catch us at 91.1, 88.1, 90.3, 99.5, or online at kmud.org. We've got another interview coming up in just a moment, so we're going to listen to a little bit of more music as we get ready for that interview. Thank you much.